All right, so we have the microscopes. I do put up some textbooks that they can reference. Most of them don't even look, but some of them do because they like to see pictures. And it is where I got the lab from originally. So it is very similar, especially as far as what they do, but there's changes because I tried to simplify it because some of the textbook is just not kid-friendly. Plus they do another step that I'm not focusing on right now as far as function. Let's see, we used Lugol solution, which is to stain cell membranes, the forceps, the 2 pipettes to administer anything if they needed to. That was actually for another lab. The beaker, the safety monitor logs that they can monitor their own group as far as putting on their goggles. So I guess the safety gear too, the goggles, the gloves, aprons. I did use the digital microscope, well at least I had it up. I didn't really employ it as much as I'd like. But the digital microscope with their program, the Modic, that's really cool. I can even take pictures on the digital microscope so I can show it to them later. Or like one of my students was absent yesterday. He came and asked me, so what do I do about when I'm absent? And then, oh, I have pictures. I can show it to you. I'll print them up. Well, a few years ago, the MacrotoMicro books, the ones that we have, are actually what the whole school had. And it came down from the state actually. It was STC. It was one of the national science ones that, and we as a middle school, Milani actually volunteered to pilot that one. And it's a good program, it's just not the greatest. So, I just took it and adapted it for what I wanted. And it's similar to some of the other books that we do have lying around it. But yeah, that one, there's so many of them, so it's easy to put out on the tables for the kids to reference. As far as the microscopes and the supplies, the Lugol solution actually, that is from the book, but it's also, the skin cheek cell one is actually from one of my colleagues. She doesn't work here anymore, but she goes, yeah, why don't we just use this, we mark it on top, why don't we just have the kids make their own? I'm like, oh, why don't we? So that's why one of the things I did change is I added that as instructions. It's different from the book. The book actually has prepared slides, I think, which is, okay, just not as fun. Not as good to see, I guess. I guess, getting to be a scientist is always a fun thing. The onion, we chose the lab because, one of the things that's easy to get is an onion. Kids all know what an onion is. As soon as they walked into the room, they smelled it. And they're like, Mr. Pie, what is that? Or, where's the onion? So that's nice for them to actually know what we're doing already or using. Elodie is a very common aquarium plant that we have for all the fish tanks. So that's another reason why we picked that particular lab. Although I think the book calls it anacris or something. We're like, okay, whatever. It's the mainland version, I guess. So we use the Elodia. I guess getting them just to be able to take a part of themselves and put it on the slide, that's just helps them to see that it's who they are.